Are you on pie duty this Thanksgiving? You're just a little freaked out because you're worried the crust is going to be too soggy, or the top's going to get too brown, or it's just not going to have that flaky texture everyone wants in pie. I totally understand you. I get it. I have been there and I have totally bombed on making the perfect pie. But I found this recipe and I found the tricks to make the crust absolutely delicious, like melt in your mouth, super flaky. And I want to share that with you today. They're going to ask you to be on pie duty every single Thanksgiving and you're going to accept happily. So this is the pie crust that I use for everything. Apple pie, pumpkin pie, pecan pie. And yes, we do use sourdough discard and a ton of butter. I'm excited for you to try this recipe and store it somewhere in your kitchen so you have a go-to, no fail, no stress pie crust recipe you can use for holidays to come. Let's walk through it together. To make things easier, I did go ahead and attach the recipe so you can go ahead and take a screenshot of it or write it down and follow along as we make this delicious pie crust. I love using a food processor when I'm making my dough because it evenly distributes the cold butter super fast. And I'm all about how fast can I get this done because I don't have all the time in the world. However, you do not need to use a food processor. You can totally just use a bowl and a fork and it will work just fine. So I went ahead and added my 2 cups of flour, and now I am cubing the cold butter to put into the food processor. The biggest secret to truly flaky crust is keeping everything cold. Cold butter, cold sourdough discard, and even cold flour if your kitchen runs warm. You don't want your butter melting before it hits the oven because those little chunks are what create that flakiness. The key is to pulse if you're using a food processor and to not hold the button down. And then if you're using a fork and a bowl, just make sure that you're getting that butter nicely like pebbled almost throughout the flour and you're not overworking it because we want to keep it cold. We're not trying to make a paste. We just want to break up that butter into small pea-sized pieces throughout the flour. And if the dough looks a little dry, that's when we're going to go ahead and add just a tablespoon at a time of really, really cold water. You might only need 1 or 2 tablespoons, just enough to bring the dough together. So I'm adding my sourdough discard and I realized that I have way too much flour, just way too much stuff in the food processor. I doubled the recipe, so it's like 4 cups of flour and 2 cups of butter. So I transitioned it over to my glass bowl and I'm trying to work as fast as I can. But here you can see I added just a drizzle of water and that's a double recipe. And I was able to incorporate the dough really well and still keep those visible signs of butter throughout. After you have distributed that butter, you're going to pour it out onto your work surface. I added the salt there, but I'm moving as quickly as I possibly can because again, I don't want that butter to melt. You're not kneading the dough, you're just getting rid of all the dry pieces of flour so that it sticks together into this disc. I'm going to go ahead and put that in a Ziploc bag, make sure that all the air is out, and I want to store this in the fridge for about at least an hour or 2, or overnight. The longer that you can leave your dough, the longer the ferment is and the more nutrition and the deeper the flavor. And that's one of the things I love most about sourdough is it's so forgiving and the flavor just keeps getting better in my opinion. While the dough was resting in the fridge, I began to work on the filling for my pie. So today I was making a meat pie, which I absolutely love. It's so comforting, great for winter and fall. Yeah, I also forgot how bad my onions are with making my eyes sting. I had glasses for the longest time and contacts, so I never really noticed when I was cutting an onion, but since I got LASIK, oh my gosh, it stings so bad. But anyways, I do use this recipe for everything, whether I'm making chicken pot pie, meat pie, apple pie, whatever it is. It's so versatile and works super well. So it's been about an hour and I'm ready to roll out the dough. Make sure that you flour your work surface because you do not want the dough sticking to your table or your counter. Again, we're wanting to work as fast as we can because we want to keep that butter nice and cold. So I'm rotating it often You'll see that I flip it over and flour each side so that it doesn't stick and it's easy to move and transition over to whatever vessel I'm using to bake it in. I actually gave my one and only glass pie dish to a friend. I made a pie for her because she just recently had a baby, so I did not have my regular pie dish, but I did have this casserole dish and it worked just fine. So what I find is that if it's glass, it bakes evenly and I get a nice brown golden crust every single time. But you can see here, I just rolled it up onto the rolling pin, and that's an easy way to transition it to your baking dish. And I'm just going to push it up against the sides of the casserole dish. This is a square dish. And then I'm just using little pieces to put it on the sides of the dish too. And you'll see at the end, it actually came out really, really well. This crust is seriously so good. But the key is to work as fast as you possibly can. Again, the most important piece of making any pie crust is to keep it cold. If you can keep it cold, it's going to be nice and flaky. So I let the filling sit slightly so it's not piping hot before I put it into my dish again, because I don't want to melt any of that butter. So it's not cold, but it's not hot. I did the same thing for the top here. I rolled it out quickly, nice and thin, and now I'm just going to cut the little pieces that are hanging over the edge and then pinch down on the sides to make sure that I have all of that filling sealed in nicely so it doesn't try and peek out. Make sure that you make a few slits in the top so that there's room for the air to steam out and breathe so it doesn't crack in random places. And then, okay, to make sure that your crust is nice and golden, I found that if I use a heavy whipping cream with a whole egg, it makes the most golden crust ever. I've tried it with milk. I just find it works better with heavy whipping cream and an egg. So I'm putting this in the oven at 420 degrees for about 30 minutes until it comes out looking like this. So good, so good. This pie crust makes crisp, flaky, buttery layers every time. I'm just reminded of why I love it so much every time I make it, because it's so simple, it's reliable, and it works for everything. Sweet or savory, it's a no-fail pie crust. It's perfect for holiday pies, apple pumpkin or pecan, or just for cozy dinners like the one I just had with this meat pie. So this is one you want to store in your kitchen somewhere. So I hope this is an encouragement for you that you don't have to have the perfect bakeware. You can really just put it in anything and it's gonna taste good as long as you follow those principles. It's gonna take that stress away, okay? Take the stress away. I'm so excited for you to make this delicious pie crust. Serve an amazing pie at your Thanksgiving or your Christmas or just whenever you want pie. If you are on a journey to learn how to make food from scratch, specifically sourdough, anything with sourdough, I'd love for you to join the community, subscribe to the channel. I am working on making sure that I post 2 videos every single week, as well as some shorts. So thanks for being here, and I'll see you in my next one.